and welcome back to my channel. Welcome to a new video. Very sorry, I am filming this in quite a bit, 14 days in advance, but as mentioned in my Vlogmas, I'm very busy, so I thought I'd just film it now. But before we get into the video, that is my favourite one to do of the year, let's just do the introduction. So, for those of you guys who don't know me, my name's Amelia. I am 25. In like 12 days after seeing this, I will be 26. And I am currently working in retail and a theatre right now, which is technically still retail. Hoping to move into a full-time marketing job in this year. And I love my YouTube channel, love doing YouTube, and I have an Instagram account, all this stuff. So if you want to give me a follow on my social medias, they should pop up somewhere in the video, and they also linked in the description below, as well as giving this video a thumbs up, comment down below, and subscribing. I would love it if we could maybe reach 250 subscribers by the middle of the year, so we'll see what happens. But without further ado, I'm just going to get on with the video because it's going to be a long one, and it could be a long one even. And I feel like I'm just going to ramble on, so let's just get on with it. Okay, so, this is my favourite video to film each year. It's one of my favourites, and I loved doing it. It's my Goodbye 2021, Hello 2022 video. And did it last year, and I did it the year before. I think I started it the year before last, so when we were going to 2020. It's how ironic I started that when COVID hit. So, here we are with another round of COVID and another round of uncertainty, but I have got some goals I've set for myself this year, and I think most of them are pretty reasonable, and a lot of them I think I can still achieve without, even if COVID affects the world again, like properly, let me put it into another lockdown, but we'll see. But before, I'm going to go over my 2021 goals obviously and see if I achieved them, but before we do that I'm going to do something different, which is what I didn't do last year. I'm going to give you some of my songs that I found this year that I really liked. I have a whole playlist on my Spotify called 2021, and there is 6.5 hours worth of songs on there. So I'm going to give you a few. Some of the songs actually probably didn't come out this year. It's just when I first heard them was this year, and I really liked them, so that is why they're in there. So my first one is obviously going to be an Olivia Rodrigo song. In my Spotify Wrapped, all of her songs were in there. Her whole album was in there because I'm obsessed. So we've got Driver's License, I'll say, is one of my favourite songs this year. Absolutely loved it when it came out. I couldn't stop listening to it. I wasn't even going through a breakup. I haven't been through a breakup in so long. So, you know, it wasn't like it hit me in that fact. It's just such a good song. Another one is not from her this time. It's from Talia Ma, and it's called Jack. Came out at the beginning of 2021, and I really loved it, and I've been obsessed since it came out. Very catchy song. Break My Heart by JC Stewart. Absolutely love the song. Does help that Niall helped write it, but I absolutely love the song. It's such a good song, such a good tune, and it's a bop. Absolutely love hearing it. The Sun Will Come Up, The Seasons Will Change, I think it's what's called, by Nina Nesbitt. Absolutely love that song. It's such a cute song. I heard it for the first time when Liam Payne did his concert, like virtual concert back in January, and I watched it, and then she was performing, and that's why I heard it, and I absolutely loved it. So. Then we've got some of these songs I've literally keep changing. Like we've got Mars by Youngblood. Fell in love with this song this year. Another one is UK Hun by the United Kingdoms from RuPaul's Drag Race. If you're a RuPaul's Drag Race fan and you like the UK's RuPaul's Drag Race, you'll know what I'm talking about. It's the one with Tace, Bimini, Ahura, and Lawrence Chaney. Four of my favourites from the second season of RuPaul's Drag Race. And another one is probably most of Demi Lovato's album, but especially My Girlfriends Are My Boyfriends and Easy, two of my favourite songs of hers that came out this year. But the whole album I think is very moving, and I really like the album. And you know what, I'm going to give you one more song, two more songs, because these two people deserve a mention in my video. Niall Horan again. Niall Horan and Anne-Marie's song, Our Song. It was a very good summer song. I loved it. It really got me through the summer. I loved it so much. I haven't really listened to it since the summer, but I really did love it during this, like, from when it came out, and it's a very good song. And also, I think all of Mimi Webb's album, her 7 Phases of a Breakup, I think it was, or Heartbreak, is such a good album. Absolutely love it. And for her first EP and for her first music that she's released, I think it's so talented, so good, and I absolutely love it. So that's my kind of top few songs for the year. And there was a lot more. Music really did get me through this year. We're being in lockdown for the first few months of the year. I was doing uni, and I don't like doing my uni work in silence. And usually I have the same music I go to, but sometimes I like hearing new songs, and it really did get me through it this year. Really did. Taylor Swift definitely got me through it. I was watching Beauty Spectrum's video yesterday when I filmed this, or 2 weeks ago when you're watching this, and she was talking about how Taylor Swift's music got her through lockdown, but I do agree. I have a few people that got me through lockdown. It was like Taylor, Harry Styles, and Olivia Rodrigo, and Niall Horan. And I think my go-to ones, but there's probably more, like Broadway musicals especially. So music did really help. So if you have been living in this world like this year, you will know that we've been through it's been a very weird year. It started off in a lockdown basically, and it went from being in a lockdown to the world opening up, and we all thinking like world is gonna get better and we're back to normal, which obviously I think realistically none of us should have already thought of that. I didn't think that. I knew that COVID was still around. I knew that there was going to be a new variant over time, because it's what's going to happen. I'm very well aware. I'm kind of just accepting it's going to be part of my life for the rest of my for at least ever now. It's like the cold and the flu. You can't really ignore it. You can't really just say, oh yeah, let's go and have a lockdown in my head. But I know that that's something that could be a possibility. But it's just been a weird one. We had the first few months in lockdown. It was kind of nice for me because I went back to Portsmouth this time. I stayed in Portsmouth for the 3rd lockdown, which was the longer lockdown than the November one, because I didn't want to be at home, and I actually really liked it. I didn't really miss out on much because obviously no one else was doing anything, but I actually had time to do my uni work. Again, this was a thing, but whatever these things are quote marks, because I actually still procrastinated as much as I would have done if the world was open. But this year for me has been pretty decent. I actually really enjoyed this year. I think it was a very good year for me. I know it's been very tricky for other people. Completely understand that. But for me it's been a very good year, and I'm really I feel like there's things I could have achieved and would have liked to have achieved if lockdown wasn't a thing. But at the same point, a lot of things I wanted to achieve, I actually did achieve, which brings me on to my 2021 goals I made a year ago. I wrote these down on this piece of paper last year, and out of the 5 I made, 4 of them I achieved. Unfortunately, one of them I didn't, but at the same point, kind of expected it not to be achieved. I kind of just put it on there hoping, but I'm gonna be okay. So we're gonna start with the first goal I made of 2021, which obviously is the biggest goal you make when you're at uni. You kind of get an idea of what you want to get, and because I was in my masters, they have the 3 grades pass, merit, distinction, and so I had made it in my mind. I wanted a merit. I didn't want the pass because I was like, yeah, pass is great, at least I passed it, but I wouldn't have achieved. It would have been like, okay, but I haven't achieved much. So I wanted the merit. So I said I'd graduate my masters with a merit. I actually achieved this, but achieved it more than I expected. I actually managed to graduate. Well, I haven't had my graduation with my masters yet, but I'm graduating with a distinction, which I still think is very shocking and crazy to me, because I didn't expect to be graduating with a merit. A distinction. That I expected to graduate with a merit. I thought, okay, it's going to be a merit, that's fine. That's what I aimed for, and I got a distinction, and I'm so beyond proud of myself for achieving that this year, because doing uni in lockdown, and especially when I did my undergrad, when lockdown happened then, basically most of the teaching had stopped, and it was just doing my work. I had to do all the teaching basically in lockdown, apart from the first half. So the first term was in class and then it stopped for 1 week before the first term ended. And then the rest of it was all online. And so imagine doing that and trying. I didn't think I'd do that well because I work better when I'm in person and in an actual room. But I actually did better than I expected to. So I'm really proud of myself for that. Another goal I had, and it really depended on the whole COVID situation more than actually me, because I knew I graduated from my undergrad. I knew I had I got my upper second class, but I had put down to have my undergrad graduation, and throughout the whole year there was so much uncertainty. It got cancelled before Boris made his announcement about the steps that he had made. Like, I remember getting the email and I was fuming. Boris hadn't made an announcement. The day they cancelled it was the day Boris was going to make his announcement about steps to get out of this and like how to, when the shops were reopen, when bars were reopen, all this and that. And I specifically remember being super, super angry because uni had cancelled our graduation and just said it's going to be virtual. And I'm like, how is that even personal? Because at the time when it was going to be virtual, was going to be in May, I wasn't going to be home. So I wouldn't have been to celebrate with my parents. I would be at uni, in my uni room on my own, like going, yay, hi. That's nothing exciting. And then, luckily, a week or two later, we got an email from the uni going, it's going to happen, they're going ahead with graduation in person. And I still had my doubts because, you know, we didn't know what was going to happen with COVID. When our graduation happened was meant to be before, like, after the masks was allowed to be taken off for good, I think. Yes, it was, because it was meant to happen in June, but it didn't. And my graduation was 12th of July, so we were like thinking, okay, are they going to cancel it or are they just going to make us wear masks during graduation? I didn't mind wearing a mask during graduation, I just didn't want them to cancel it again. Luckily, they went ahead with it and it didn't get cancelled, so it was really, this goal was basically solely focused on the COVID situation more than myself. But I really wanted it to happen, and it did happen. I had a goal to make it. I mentioned it in a vlog. I had to pay £75 for a taxi from Amelia station to Portsmouth because, well, there was a bit of issues with the trains because it was the day after the England finals. It wasn't really great. But we achieved that goal, and I'm very happy with it. Another one I definitely achieved, and I really have seen it this whole year myself, is I focused on myself a lot more. I think, given the fact that we were in lockdown, especially at the beginning of the year, it gave me a lot of time to sit and focus on myself. But even then, especially moving home, I've been less social since moving home. Not because I want to be, but because it's like being at home. There's not as much to do. Anyone who knows my hometown knows there's nothing around Redhill to do really, apart from what I basically go to work. So unless I'm meeting my friends in London or I'm going back to Portsmouth, I'm not really I'm meeting some of my friends in Redhill because I do have friends here and I do socialise with them. So it's not like I don't. I actually have a bit more of a time to sit and think to myself, but I also kind of like that because I'm actually focusing on myself and what I want and not what other people want from me. And really realising how important it is to focus on myself. So I definitely have focused on myself a lot more this year. I found myself a lot more. I've become more confident, learned to love myself a lot more, which has helped me grow on my social media, and I think it's really helped me on my Instagram especially. So I really like it. And I'm really proud of myself for accomplishing that. Okay, my next one I didn't achieve, unfortunately. I had it in my mind to find a job, a social media marketing job, or at least a digital marketing job, and I've applied for some. I've had interviews. I just haven't been lucky enough to actually get a job yet, which sucks, but at the same point I can still get one in the next year. I just need to apply and apply and apply. I really need to apply because one of my goals for the next year will only happen if I can get a full-time job, realistically. So fingers crossed I will get somewhere. Now my last one is should have been work hard on my social media, but I think I put work harder on my YouTube. And I think I say this as this is one of the actual goals I have every single year, and I think every single year I do work harder on it because I try my hardest to keep up with it. But I definitely, because of uni, was slacking in editing, because uni work became a thing, and I just knew it was going to be tricky. luckily, like the last month, I've definitely been focusing on my YouTube a lot more, working hard on it, trying to get things up consistently. If you see my Vlogmas, you will know I tried to get them up as much as possible, even whilst I'm still working super like busy, super a lot, even not super. I'm working a lot. Like I don't really have a day off, but I still edit my vlogs to get them up for you, and I enjoy doing my YouTube, so I enjoy working hard on it, and I think over time it's gonna help me. Fingers crossed. So those were my 2021 goals. I did ramble on a little bit about the ones with my uni, but I'm just going to talk about a few memories I have from this year, because this year's been a whirlwind of a year, and actually such a good year for me, really. So I'm just going to talk about some memories that I remember, and I want to share. So one of my main memories of the year was the Saturday night calls with my friend Tegan. Me and her would do video calls every Saturday evening, and we would be drinking whilst lockdown was happening, whilst I was in Portsmouth, and then it was just absolutely crazy. It was super fun, had such a great time, absolutely loved it. Would always wake up on a Sunday with a hangover, and I hated that, but it was like I wasn't going out, so it was my chance to like release some stress. And another memory I have is when she came down to Portsmouth and we went out. It was a really fun time, and I absolutely loved that. Another memory I have is obviously my graduation. It was an amazing day. That whole week was amazing. I literally did so much. I remember that whole week vividly, and I love it so much, and I loved it so much. Another memory is golf. I went to golf with my best friend Donna and our friend Sean and Lauren. And we watched the golf, mainly to see Niall, but it was just such a good time. I actually really enjoyed it. We saw Tom Holland, we saw Tom Felton, and we obviously saw Niall. We followed Niall the whole way around, basically. Such a good experience. Had an amazing time, and the weather was so good for it, which was even better because it was September, so it could have gone either way. Another memory is my London trips. I've done London twice with Donna and had an amazing time. We went in April when we did a photo shoot, and then went shopping because I really needed this one to sort of basically redo a whole wardrobe. So I went shopping. We went shopping in London, and then I met up with her in August when I moved home, and it was like a catch up. It was such a good day. We went to like Notting Hill, had like a whole photo shoot in London, which was absolutely fantastic. Absolutely loved it. And then my other memories when I took myself to London the other week. I just had so much. It was just such a good day, just chill and relax on my own, and be by myself, and I absolutely adored it and enjoyed it so much. Another memory is Winter Wonderland was another good memory, another London memory, but a really good one. And I was to say the final ones is also just the socialising with my friends, like going for like house parties with like Jazz, Donna and Emily, a few times at Emily's place mainly, and also Donna's birthday in Portsmouth, because it was just nice to be able to socialise with them again after like so long of not seeing people and being able to socialise with people, and I honestly loved it. So I have a lot more memories, but we'll be here all day if I speak about every single memory I have from this year. So yeah. And now we're going to move on to the 2022 goals. I literally have 9 goals this year, which is a lot more than usual. I usually have like 6 goals this year that I want to achieve, but this year it's 9. Usually it's like 5, 6, like I said. So my first one is, and it kind of links back to the one from this year or last year, whenever I upload this. If I uploaded New Year's Eve this year, if I uploaded New Year's Day last year. The first one is I want to find a grad job in digital marketing, social media marketing. I just want to get an actual full-time job, even if it's an internship, but as long as I'm getting paid a decent amount of money, because I just want to get out of retail. I don't mind retail. I think I'm pretty good with customers. I think my customer service is pretty decent. Like I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but I am very confident that I give good customer service. If you see me on the wrong days, maybe I'm a bit moody, and if the customers are rude to me, I'm not going to be like super nice to them. But I do have really good customer service. I think so anyway. But I'm really sick of retail, so I want to get out of there. So I want to find a grad job. So that's one of my goals. I think that's a very possible goal to achieve. we'll see. Keep up with my vlogs and you'll see if I make it. Another one is to grow my YouTube and my Instagram, and like, again, work hard on both of them. I think this year I definitely worked a lot harder on my Instagram than YouTube, but it's both been working hard on. But I want to get to 300 subscribers by 2023, fingers crossed, which is, I think, I'm on 226 as I film this. Possibilities I'll go down before this goes up, but fingers crossed I won't. I think that's a very possible goal to reach if I work on it. I could reach it. I think I didn't want to give myself the goal to 1,000 in a year because I don't see it happening. I'd rather be realistic and so I don't get my hopes up. So 300 subscribers. Would like to get to 2,000 followers on Instagram. I'm on 1,090 something at the current moment. So I hope by this time next year I'll be at 2,000 at least. If I get more, better, even better, but at least 2,000 would be great. This is a very simple goal and I think it's one I can do, but sometimes I find myself not doing it, which is why I want to do it. And it's enjoy and make the most of every moment, and I mean this in the fact of like, don't overthink every little thing. Do not worry about things that are out of my control. Do not worry about small things, like things will just work out, and if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. So just enjoy every moment I can, because yeah, I think that's what I need to do the next year. Now, and my next goal is move out. I genuinely really want to, and I'm really hoping to move out next year. Even if it's in September, I just want to move out next year, get my own space, and have my own space. Just because I feel like once that happens, I'll be in a much better place in my mind, but also just less clutter because I have to fit everything into one room, and it's a little bit stressful in here because it gets messy so quickly because I don't have enough space. I just want my own space, to be honest. I miss being my independent self in my own place. I love my parents, but I did love being on my own at uni. It was just nice, like, getaway, I guess. I would happily move out somewhere in Red Hill. It's just a fact of, like, getting out with being around my parents all the time. Because I am nearly 26, so. Another one is, as long as I feel like this one is possible, as long as COVID doesn't hit too much, if that makes sense, because I want to do this. It's in England, but I can't, there's no point in me going around there if shops are shut, if everything's shut because of COVID. So it is to go and explore London a lot more. I did it once on my own in the end of November and I absolutely loved it. It was so nice. I went to Tate Modern, I went to the theatre cafe, and I've just absolutely loved it so much that I just want to go back again and do a lot more things, explore a lot more of it on my own as well. And then another one that it ties in with that is to see loads of West End shows. I absolutely love West End shows, and I used to think going on my own would be sad, but I actually just think I need to start going on my own because I really want to see a lot of West End. There's a lot of shows on my list that I want to see. I'm pretty sure I did my West End bucket list basically, and I want to see like most of them, and then there's a few more I want to see, and I won't see them if I don't go. So I'm planning to do that next year. I have one booked for the day after my birthday. I'm going to see Heathers, which is my dream show to see, and I know I just want to see it, so I'm going to see it with my friend Tegan for my birthday, and it's going to be a great night, hopefully, as long as COVID don't stop it. Another one is, and this one I think can be ticked off, is get back on the stage. I obviously was in show choir for the 4 years at uni, and in the first 3 years I got on stage with them at least, and it might not be as much as what I'm going to do, hopefully, but it was still something, and I absolutely love being on the stage. It's just the feeling, like when I did Masters of show choir, the feeling of being on stage is such a different feeling, and it's just a different kind of adrenaline rush. It's exciting, it's fun, and I absolutely love it, and so I want to get back on it. So I am joining a amateur drama group, and fingers crossed we'll make it onto the stage next year. Got an audition on the 20th. I'm just going to be in an ensemble, but fingers crossed I'll make it, and because I really want to be on the show. I really want to get back on the stage. So I've got two more. One of them is very COVID dependent, and it is to travel more. I haven't left England since I was 17, which is nearly 9 years ago, and I'm kind of ashamed of myself for that because I have all these dreams of wanting to get out of England and do things, but I don't like flying and I don't have the money. So the two things that set me back. Mainly the money, because I will get on a flight for this if I have to, just to get somewhere. But yeah, so I want to travel a bit more. Not a lot, because again, money. But I do want to travel a bit. So I'm meant to be going to Paris in April with Donna for which will be fun. And so that's one thing I can say I'm going to do a bit of travelling there. But I really want to travel a bit more. So fingers crossed I can think about. I don't know if that's going to happen because I want to move out as well. So maybe I'm being a bit unrealistic with these goals. But I'm thinking nothing is unrealistic and everything is doable if you work for it. And you work hard for it and you put your mind to it. So I'm going to try and fingers crossed do that. If it doesn't happen, I'm not going to be disheartened in myself. I'm just going to be like, okay, next year. But that is the hope. And my final one is something I definitely can do if I just set some time aside every day or every evening to do it. And it's to read more. I used to love reading. When I was younger, I used to love reading books. And then I went through a phase in one summer that I just read and read and read, and I loved it. And I don't really know what stopped me from reading. I think it could have been uni. I'm not even going to deny it. The amount of books they want you to read and chapters and books they want you to read, it really put me off the idea of sitting there reading a book. And I don't think I've actually sat and read an actual full book since. Like, I have books on my bookshelf and I've started reading them, and I go through times and I'll be like, yeah, I really enjoy reading, and I'll be like, no. Partly, I just don't read. I don't know why. I get so distracted by other things at my phone, and I want to start reading more and get off my phone at night. So that is a plan, a goal. So I'm going to see how many books I can read within a year. I'm actually going to write down how many books I've read in a year. So when I do this video next year, I can go, I read this amount of books. So fingers crossed I will achieve it. We'll see. But that's all my goals for the next year. I do have like small things I want to do that aren't on goals because they're just things that I want to do. But I won't be mentioning that. I'll just mention it in vlogs when it happens. I do have one thing I know I want to do, and it is my YouTube series. I've mentioned it before in a vlog. I think it was Vlogmas, and I mentioned it on my blog. I am planning to do this like Finding Yourself series on my YouTube and my blog. So I'm really hoping I actually work on it and get it up for you guys in the new year. Date to be set, not sure yet, but that's the thing. But anyway, I'm going to end this video here. I think I've talked enough. If you did enjoy it, please give it a thumbs up, please comment down below, please subscribe, and follow my social medias, and I will see you again very soon with a brand new video.